Hello, Red Grats. We're back with some more Buffalo Sabres franchise mode in FHM 12. And in the last one, we won our first ever Stanley Cup in franchise history. There you go. Year one, we didn't make the playoffs. Last year, year two, out in the first round. And then this year, we go 57, 23, and 4, 118 points. We won the President's Trophy. And not only did we make the playoffs, but we, of course, won the Stanley Cup. So that was just a great year all around for your Buffalo Sabres. But now we have the offseason ahead of us. And we're currently on July 1st. We didn't lose, thankfully, we did not lose too many of our players from last season. Only lost basically Peyton Krebs due to him wanting too much on his contract. I believe he was asking for $6 million over 6 years. So what I'm going to do here, we're going to go out to free agency and we're just going to sign a couple of cheap players as some depth who can fill in when needed. And I think one of those guys is going to be Mark Kastelik here. He's 29 years of age, 6'4". Last year he played for the Dallas Stars, 31 games played, 6 points, 56 grades. So nothing too special, but still some decent depth. And he's only asking for $950,000 for 2 years. So I figure it can't hurt. We'll give him $980,000 for 2 years. Someone who we're also going to go after is Maxim Berzyakin. He is a 2.5-star ability, 26 years of age. Last year, he played for Boston, 8 games played, no points, 61 grade though, so maybe he's serviceable defensively. Got a good personality, decent strengths and weaknesses, and the best part is that he's only asking for $950,000 for 2 years, so I figure once again, another low-risk signing here with Berzyakin, or Berzyakin, I should say. Now, here's where this offseason gets interesting, because we have quite a few players coming up this next upcoming offseason, not this offseason, but the players that only have 1 year left on their deals currently. You have Luukkonen and Levi, so we're probably going to have to choose between one or the other. I cannot imagine we're going to be able to sign both. Then you have McKenna, McLeod, Benson, Lehkonen, Helenius as well. So it's a pretty big offseason for your Buffalo Sabres in terms of renewing contracts. So let's see what all these guys want. Luukkonen wants 6.6 for 7 years. Oh boy. And then Levi, he wants $5 million for 3 years. Yeah, it's a tough one because Luukkonen last year was not very good. He had an .891 save percentage. But the 2 years prior in the simulation, year number one, he had a .913, and year number two, he had a .909. So if we re-sign Luukkonen, we're going to have to bank on him getting back to his year one and year two form, right? And then if we sign Levi had a .908 save percentage last year, and then a .905, and then a .916 the year before. So Levi so far overall has been better. He's also younger than Luukkonen, wants less money and less term. And now let's get a look at what they did in the playoffs for us this past season. Luukkonen in 12 games played had 9 wins and a .900 save percentage, while Levi in 13 games played had 7 wins, 2 shutouts, and a .901. So they were effectively equal during the playoffs, with the exception of the 2 shutouts for Levi. Overall, I'm leaning towards Levi right now because he's younger, he wants less term, he wants less money, and he's just overall been more consistent with his numbers over the past 3 years. That said, when Luukkonen is on, he's good, but last season he was not on. So it's certainly a tough choice there. Then you also have Ryerson Leenders. He wants $1 million for 3 years. We're probably going to end up needing him just based off what we're seeing here with Levi and Luukkonen. Then you have McKenna. McKenna wants 3.8 for 4 years. I will definitely do that for him. And I got him down to 3.75 for 4 years. And then Ryan McLeod, what does he want? He wants 6.3 for 3 years. He's 28 currently. That'll take him to 31. I mean, it's pretty good for us last year. 49 points, 69 grade. I would imagine a lot of that has to do with his defensive ability. He's got that 17 checking, 16 positioning. During the playoffs, he had 14 points for us in 23 games played, 65 grade. So I think Ryan McLeod is someone I want to hold on to, at least for the immediate future, but I'm just going to see what guys like Benson and Helenius want first. So Benson wants 4.7 for 3 years. Yeah, I would say he deserves that. He had 63 points last year in 82 games played, 70 grade during the regular season, and then during the playoffs, 24 points in 24 games played. I don't see why we shouldn't bring back Zach Benson. He was very good for us last season. And I got him down to 4.45 for 3 years. And now I want to see what Helenius wants. He wants 2.7 for 3 years. I'll definitely do that for him. And I got him down to 2.6 for 3 years. Yeah, I'm going to offer McLeod. He's a really important part of this team. And I got him down to 5.9 for 3 years. All right, so now we're going to advance and see what the decisions of all these guys are. All right, we're going to have to renegotiate with Kastelich. He got an offer from LA. I'll give him 1.35 for 2 years. Okay, got to renegotiate with him again. 1.7 for 2 years. LA keeps outbidding us here for Kostelic. I'm going to go maximum 2 mil. And now it's time for the draft lottery. We're not in it this year, so let's see what the order is. At number 16, you have Colorado, followed by Columbus, Philly again, Vancouver, Ottawa, Montreal, Seattle, Vegas, St. Louis, Calgary, Chicago, Tampa, San Jose at number 3. So Nashville moves up. And at number 1, it's going to be the Toronto Maple Leafs, followed by Nashville at number 2. All right, here we are at the draft, so let's get into it and see who is available for us at our first pick. And we are not picking, of course, until number 32, as we did win the Stanley Cup. So there is a 1.5-star ability available, Helge Pedersen, who's the 3-star potential, but he has the 4.5-star consensus potential. 16 puck handling already, 16 defensive read, 14 determination. I like the look of this guy right off the bat. Let's see his scouting page. Weakest part of his game is his intangibles. That's unfortunate, but that being said, he has plenty of other strengths, such as playmaking ability. He doesn't get hurt that often. Coaches like his work ethic. He's in pretty good shape. His skating is pretty good. He has decent on-ice vision. And none of his weaknesses are a serious liability. So even his intangibles are not that bad. He gets along well with everyone. He's a little prone to controversy, but he doesn't let criticism get him down. So overall, I really like Pedersen. He had 38 points in 36 games played last year, 65 grade. So I'm definitely going to keep my eye on him. And then also another name who stands out, Milos Spelkvist. We had him for the River Rats franchise mode. 1-star ability, 3-star potential, 4-star consensus, 17 puck handling already, 15 positioning. Physical category is pretty good. Mental category could be better. Love his personality. Noted for his intelligence. Takes success in stride and always handles criticism in a constructive manner. Strengths and weaknesses. His strongest part of his game is his playmaking ability. He's a little stronger than most players. He's in pretty good physical shape. He has a pretty good ability to read the play. Above average skater. The weakest part of his game is his physical play, unfortunately, and then he tends to get hurt a bit more than average, but he's still a pretty solid prospect here, as he has 33 points in 35 games played last year and a 72 grade. Yeah, Spelkvist is definitely also on my radar. Eric Ogren also looks pretty good. 1-star ability, 2.5-star potential. Got some really good ratings in there already with the offensive category, 16 puck handling, 14 positioning, 16 agility, 15 determination. I like his personality, strengths and weaknesses. Strongest part of his game is his playmaking. Physical strength is above average, pretty good stamina, pretty good ability to read the play, good skater. Weakest part of his game is his physical play and then tends to get hurt a little bit more than average. But overall, Ogren, once again, a solid pick. Unfortunately, all the players on my draft list right now are centers. I would like to get some defensemen on there and maybe even some wingers. Jakub Marek looks pretty good. 16 puck handling, 14 determination. He's got that 3-star potential. Bigger the game, the better he performs. I like that. Strongest part of his game is his playmaking. He has above average strength. He can handle a pretty heavy workload. He's an above average skater. The weakest part of his game is his goal scoring ability, but even the worst aspects of his game are still relatively strong. So I like Marek as well. And I also like the winger Morgan Samuelsson. He's a 1-star ability, 3-star potential, 17 passing, 16 offensive read already, 16 strength, 15 determination. Strongest part of his game is his playmaking ability. He's a good skater, known for his physical strength, pretty good vision on the ice. The weakest part of his game is his goal scoring ability, so it doesn't look like he's going to be much of a scoring winger, but even the worst aspects of his game are still relatively strong. Personality, he gets along well with everyone, not known for being loyal, but is noted for his intelligence. So overall, a pretty good pick, I would say. I don't know if he's my first pick, but I'll have him on the draft list for sure. Oh, okay. So this guy's pretty interesting as well. Holden Sexsmith, the defenseman. He's got some pretty good ratings in there already, offensively, especially 15 puck handling, 15 offensive read, 16 stick checking, 17 stamina, 16 team player. Unfortunately, he does have a personality trait I don't exactly like. If he's on your roster, controversy will follow. However, he does handle criticism in a constructive manner and it gets along well with everyone. The strongest part of his game is his playmaking ability. He's an outstanding skater. He's a workhorse. He has pretty good on-ice vision. The weakest part of his game is his physical play, and he'll log a fair amount of time lost to injuries. But overall, I would, at the very least, consider Sexsmith. All right, so another one that I like is Matthew Bowerman. He's a 2.5-star potential, right defenseman. A lot of good ratings in there that are already 12, 13, 14 in some cases. Strengths and weaknesses. The strongest part of his game is his skating. He has above average strength. Coaches report that he's willing to learn. He has pretty good on-ice vision. Weakest part of his game is his physical play, and he'll log a fair amount of time lost to injuries. Personality-wise, he gets along well with everyone, takes success in stride. He He is a little prone to controversy, but that's not the worst thing in the world. I also like Carter Bylesia. He's got the 14 passing, 14 offensive read, 14 positioning, 17 stamina, 16 team player. Strengths and weaknesses. Strongest part of his game is his playmaking ability. Skating is pretty good. Terrific stamina. Decent on ice vision. Weakest part of his game is his goal scoring ability, and he'll log a fair amount of lost time to injuries. Personality wise, he gets along well with everyone. He's considered a fairly clean player and can be counted on to avoid dwelling on his failures. So honestly, there's quite a few players in this draft I'm really liking. There's also Malachi Hassan, who has the 2.5-star team scouting potential, but he has the 3.5-star consensus potential. 16 offensive read, 14 determination. So I'd say he's at the very least a player of interest for hopefully later on in the draft. This guy's interesting. Mikhail Anderson, 2-star potential on the team scouting, 4-star consensus. He's projected to go with 13 apparently, even though that's well already passed. Strengths and weaknesses, he does not have too many strengths. The strongest part of his game is his playmaking ability, above average strength, above average stamina. Weakest part of his game is his goal scoring ability and a log a fair amount of time lost to injuries. Personality wise, everyone seems to love him. He be counted on to avoid dwelling on failures, and he knows what he's worth and expects to be paid that amount. However, his scouting grade is at AD, so that's not guaranteed to be an accurate scouting report on him. So the question becomes, do we believe the consensus or team scouting? Those are two pretty different potentials right there. But it looks like we have quite a few options here for our first pick at number 32, and I think I'm going to end up taking Pettersson. He just looks way too good. Not to mention he has that 4.5-star consensus, 16 defensive read already. I mean, he looks really good. He looks really good. I'm surprised. Yeah, he was supposed to be picked up number 6. I'm surprised he's fallen all the way to 32. I mean, I know we have centers already in Stenberg and Eklund Asp, but like I said, he looks too good to pass up for this point of the draft. So I think we're going to be taking Helge Pettersson with his pick. Welcome to the Buffalo Sabres. All right, pick number 64 now. It looks like Agren is the next player available on our draft list. Then you also have Sexsmith, Bylesia, and Anderson. Every other player I put on the draft list was taken. So let's do some comparisons here. Mental ratings, honestly, they're kind of all over the place. I'm not sure who exactly to give the advantage to here. I guess I'd say Agren, but then again, I do kind of want to take a defenseman with this pick since we just took a center. Physical ratings, I'd give it to Sexsmith. He's got that 15 acceleration, 14 balance, 14 speed, 17 stamina. Only 10 strength, but still overall, I give it to him. Offensively, I mean, obviously it's going to be Agren, right? Yeah, he's the forward out of the group, but still, between the defensemen, I would definitely give it to Sexsmith. And then defensively, it's close, but I give this to Sexsmith as well because he's got the 16 stick checking. He's got the 13 defensive read, 13 positioning, which is lower than Bylesia's 14, but it's not much lower. And then 11 checking compared to 12. So overall, I would give the advantage to Sexsmith here. Unfortunately, he does have that personality trait of if he's on your roster, controversy will follow, but I might want to take a risk. I might want to take a risk on him. Pretty good point scoring as well. 66 points last year in 54 games played, 75 grade. Yeah, I mean, he looks like he could be pretty good. He looks like he could be a pretty good player of the future. So I'm going to take a bit of a gamble here with his personality, and we'll be taking Holden Sexsmith with this pick. Welcome to the Buffalo Sabres. And now I'm going to pick number 96. Those three players are still available in Anderson, Bylesia, and Agren. I still can't believe Anderson was projected to go with 13 with the attributes that he has. It's 16 points last year, 33 games played. I mean, he's going to be a project for sure. He's going to take a while to reach the NHL if he does, but that consensus potential is interesting. The difference between that and the team scouting. But then again, you take a look at guys like Agren and Bylesia. I don't think Anderson, as he is right now, compares to either of these guys. I think it's going to have to be either Bylesia or Agren. I think it's got to be Agren purely because he's already that 1-star ability forward. And he looks like he could be NHL ready sooner rather than later. So Agren, welcome to the Buffalo Sabres. And we're up to pick number 113 now. It looks like all the players on our draft list have been taken. However, there are still plenty of 2.5-star potential left. So I think with this pick, I'll be taking Nick Diener. He is a center. He's also a right wing and right defenseman, so he has some utility there. He's got that 15 offensive read, 14 acceleration. Obviously nothing too special, but that's to be expected for this point of the draft. Strengths and weaknesses. Strongest part of his game is his skating. He has decent on-ice vision. He's a good skater. The weakest part of his game is his Physical play and tends to get hurt a little bit more than average. Personality, he can be counted on to avoid dwelling on failures. He takes success in stride and doesn't let criticism get him down. So Nick Jasinner, welcome to the Buffalo Sabres. And with this pick, I think we'll be taking Daniel Forsberg. He's got the 3-star team scouting, but only a 1.5-star consensus. So it should be interesting to see how he turns out. Strengths and weaknesses. He's got the playmaking ability. Skating's pretty good stamina. Weakest part of his game is his goal scoring, and he seems to be prone to injuries. Personality-wise, he's a fairly clean player, doesn't let criticism get him down, and can adapt to new surroundings. So overall, I like Forsberg, but we'll see how he turns out with his potentials. So Daniel Forsberg, welcome to the Buffalo Sabres. Pick 160 now, and I think I'll be taking Kyle Obobaifo with this pick. He's a center, 2.5-star potential, good personality, doesn't have too many strengths and weaknesses, but for this point of the draft, I think I'll take him. So Kyle Obobaifo, welcome to the Buffalo Sabres. And pick 192 now, and I think I'll be taking Jimmy Giroud with this pick. Welcome to the Buffalo Sabres. And that will be it for the year 3 draft. Ooh, we got one up for Kostelic again. All right, 2.5 I think is my absolute maximum for Kostelic. I mean, he is a 3-star ability. I guess I'd be willing to go the 3 mil for him, especially considering his defensive category. Oof, he signs with Washington. That's unfortunate. Luckily, though, we did get Buryaskin, so he signed with us. But I think we're going to need to seek out another center here, as we only have 3 natural centers at the moment. And I don't really like any of the centers that are left in free agency, so I think I'm going to take a look at the trade block. All right, so we can acquire Jake Evans of the Pittsburgh Penguins pretty easily here, only for the rights to a prospect, Norwin Panocha, who frankly is not very. Can the game go to his player profile, please? Thank you. that was a lot of lag. Norwin Panocha, 23 years of age, half-star ability, 1.5-star potential, not too much of a future here, and then a 5th-round pick in exchange for Jake Evans, who's 32 years of age, 2.5-star ability, very good defensively. He's a back-checking forward, rated at 14. He's got the 16 speed, 16 checking, 14 for faceoffs, and just all around a very well-rounded player. He had 28 points last year in 74 games played with Pittsburgh and a 62 grade. So let's make this trade. And there it is. The Pittsburgh Penguins have accepted our offer of a 5th-round pick and the rights to Norwin Panocha in exchange for Jake Evans. Complete trade. So that done, I think that is just about everything I wanted to do, at least for now. I'm going to hold off on the Luukkonen and Levi situation. I'm going to see what happens as we go into this upcoming season. But as of right now, I'm leaning towards Levi. So I think with that, we'll advance straight to the Hall of Fame inductions here. And inducted in the Hockey Hall of Fame this year are Marc-Andre Fleury, Patrick Marleau, Roman Hamrlik, and Steve Duchesne. Ooh. Rasmus Dahlin injured while moving furniture, apparently. It's like a Jack Hughes type injury. What? I've never seen this before. I've been saying that a lot in this game. It's 2 overtime goals. It's very interesting. This is during the Prospects tournament in a game against Ottawa. We win 3-1 in overtime, apparently. Yeah, I've never seen this before. Very interesting indeed. All right, we have finished the preseason, and here is our roster heading into year number 4. In goal, you have Luukkonen and Levi for the time being. We'll see what happens with that later. On defense, you have Dahlin, Evans, Byram, Faber, Marino, Kesselring, and Morrow. And at forward, you have Thompson, McKenna, McLeod, Oslin, Benson, Lehkonen, Evans, Helenius, Greenway, Doan, Geertsen, Nuchev, Buryaskin, and Wood. So that being done, I think one thing's off here, but not before I thank the channel members. Thank you guys so much for all your support, and I'll see you guys in the next one.